Oh boy. Actually, hold on. I'm a little too close. Hold on. There we go. I'm not completely, you can actually see, more space other than me. I think it's trying over a nice balance. Anyway, so, honestly, my low is pretty simple. I did something this morning that I'm probably going to regret later. And by that, I mean it goes into part of my high, and that is, I actually made pickles this morning. Yeah, it's been a good while since I made some pickles, but if you look on my Facebook and Instagram, it's actually the first time that I've ever pickled carrots. Yeah, I mean, I hear you can pickle, you can pickle virtually anything that's a good vegetable, so, try pickling carrots. But here's the thing. I wake up at before 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just cannot sleep. Because normally if I make pickles, I usually do it super duper early in the morning. Just so I can get the pickling process started. And you know what they say, the longer you wait to have your pickles, the better they taste. So the fact that it's already been technically it's already been over 3 hours since I pickled them, but it's after 7:30 right now, so yeah. I got up super duper early. Honestly, the only difficult part about peeling carrots is having to, you have to peel them first, and you have to chop them up and then fit them all in the jar. But the good thing is, if you know how to fit carrots inside of a jar, they can actually hold themselves down in place, so they're really going to soak up the brine like nobody's business. They should be pretty good in a couple of days. May actually try one later tonight. I don't know. I'll have to see. So yeah, my high is I made pickles, and I also got to spend a lovely evening with my folks. And I actually had something for dinner last night. That's actually a mom food that I haven't talked about yet. So yeah, I thought about doing a class and session video today, but considering Martin Luther King Jr. Day and children being off of school that week, and plus I probably should have not done a class and session video last week. I think I'll make up for that here by not doing one this week, but then immediately going back doing class and session videos next week. At least, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Actually, did students have readings this week? I don't know. I'll look that up and see, but as of this moment in time, as of this recording, that's what the plan is. But that's fine, because of today, I have a mom food chronicle. And, oh, right, I should probably tell you. My act of kindness was I actually helped my mom prepare the mom food that we had last night. As well as, I'll clean up after dinner and stuff. But, yeah, I actually helped my mom make it. I like to cook, so it doesn't bother me. So anyway, good morning and happy Saturday, everybody. So, what mom food did we have? Well, it's kind of hard for me to describe this because, by all accounts, I really could put two specific mom foods together just because. Okay, well, I should explain what they are. It's basically it's pot pie and soup. These are the two mom foods. I was gonna wait a little while until I actually had my mom's chicken soup but considering virtually the same ingredients for the most part, obviously one uses a pie crust and the other one uses noodles, are used in both things, I'm better off just doing them both here. So, for the sake of this video, I'm going to call this poultry pot pie and poultry soup. Or poultry noodle soup, I should say. Yes. You're probably thinking, why not chicken noodle soup? Why not turkey? Well, you can literally make both of these dishes with virtually any bird. So, it doesn't really, so having listed as a poultry pot pie or poultry noodle soup, that's fine. But last night specifically, we had pot pie, specifically turkey pot pie. Yeah, remember on Sunday when I visited my folks, we had turkey? Well, my mom had quite a bit of leftover turkey, actually. In fact, there's still so much extra turkey left. There's like an entire like drumstick and part of a thigh left. And we wound up using like really when the soup was first being made, there was, I want to say it was a whole half a bird, but like there was the breast on one side and the leg and the thigh from another that was on the carcass of the bird, in this case a turkey. So we'll say it's half a bird. And obviously the wing was still there for the breast. Needless to say, considering we wound up, without even realizing it, I sort of realized it because I watched this, but we actually went with binging with Babish's logic when it comes to making a pot pie. Specifically, we pretty much used nothing but, I just sort of gave it away earlier. I just said there's an entire, drumstick and thigh still left. We wound up using that entire turkey breast. And actually not even the entire turkey breast. There was a lot of stuff. And, I helped cube it up, and I also, because at the same time, my mom also wanted to make banana bread, which I have talked about before. So, we did a lot of cooking last night, and it was nice. It was nice sort of reliving some old memories with my mom. It was actually quite heartwarming, I'm not going to lie. But, pretty much, as you can imagine, whenever my mom makes poultry pot pie or poultry noodle soup, as you would expect, it's leftovers from whatever big sort of bird that she cooked. It could be a pretty decent sized chicken, or actually, if for whatever reason she gets like a rotisserie chicken that no one finishes, she'll use that to make chicken noodle soup. So, yeah, you can do that. But for this specific instance, we used turkey. And she cut out all the vegetables. She got the roux going for the gravy, even though, technically the gravy sort of wound up being a little bit too thin for my liking, but it was still good. She puts like a chicken bouillon cube in it. I think she may have added a little bit of wine, I don't know. But all in all, it was a wonderful dish. When my mom makes pot pie, she'll use a 2 store-bought pie crust. And here's the thing, she never part bakes it. At least the bottom one. She just lays the bottom crust in wholesale, docks it, puts some, the vegetables, the potatoes, and the chicken and the gravy on top of that, puts the top pie crust on, puts butter on it, puts it in the oven, and it's in there for 45 minutes to an hour. And that's pretty much what happens when she makes pot pie. With soup, pretty much the same thing, only instead of a gravy, she just simply doesn't thicken it, just leaves it as a broth. But for the starch, you gotta have noodles. So there you go. Again, virtually all the ingredients are the same, There's carrots, onions, celery. In fact, one fun fact about both of these dishes, for this specific reason, my mom has extra bags of frozen peas and frozen corn. So in this dish, of course, frozen peas and frozen corn, which I like peas, I like corn. One thing I've said many times in the past that I'm going to continue to bring out home, I love eating vegetables, I really do. Again, I just pickled carrots earlier this morning, so don't get me wrong, I proclaim that I am a carnivore. Just yesterday I said if you're a Christian or Catholic and you love having meat on Fridays, you get your fix in now, which, if you are, I hope you did. But I will not deny the power of the honorable vegetable. Because, kids, you gotta eat your vegetables, okay? That's how you grow up to be big and strong. And it's actually a very, you got a message. I'll look at it later. So, where was I? Right. Kids, eat your vegetables. But, that being said, my mom made, a turkey pot pie. For the title of this video, I'm going to call it poultry pot pie and poultry noodle soup. just because, again, you could make this with virtually any bird that's, left over. I mean, again, I mentioned my mom using a leftover rotisserie chicken she got from the store that no one finished. Again, we used the turkey from last Sunday in this instance. And again, we followed Binging with Babish's logic about, because here's the thing, he did a video on his Basics with Babish series where theoretically, yeah, you can just use all the turkey meat in one pie and you'd be perfectly fine. But let's say, you want to add diversity. The white meat, which is what we wound up using last night, you have right away. The dark meat, believe it or not, you could actually freeze and, reheat the pies for later. I actually thought that was kind of interesting. And you know what? It actually makes sense. The white meat on a bird is, let's be honest, it usually is consistently, drier because there's not a lot of blood and, important tissue and nutrients going into the breast of a bird. That's why the meat is so dark. Believe it or not, most of the vascular structure of a bird are in the legs and the wings, because you use that to move around. You actually use it to do stuff. That's why the dark meat is traditionally more tender than the white meat. Now, I actually remember that from exercise physiology, believe it or not. This is all sorts of scientific stuff, but the white meat was, I want to make one thing clear. This is a very moist bird that we had on Sunday, so of course it was going to be moist. We made it into a pot pie, so using the white meat for making this particular pot pie, especially when it was, I can't believe I'm saying it like this, a breast as big as it was. I can't believe I just said that. We had plenty and it was still very good white turkey meat. I don't know what to tell you. It was really, really good. But let's say that my mom was going to make, noodle soup. She would just use all the meat, white, dark, all of it, wholesale, everything but the kitchen sink. Actually, that's not entirely true. She wouldn't put the whole carcass of the bird in there. She wouldn't do that. Unless she was going to make a stock in of itself, which, alright, that could potentially work, alright. But in this particular instance, she made, turkey pot pie. It was wonderful. And I mentioned earlier that we made another mom food, one I have talked about before, which was banana bread. But this time we used, I mentioned this in my mom food chronicle on my mom's banana bread. But, sometimes she'll put in chocolate chips and walnuts. Sometimes she won't. This particular instance, we did. So, yeah, I didn't really have any of the, actually, one I can tell the story of. Last night, my mom sort of put too much batter in the loaf pan, so it overflowed. But that's okay. Some of that burnt stuff is pretty tasty. Yeah, I know. It's not the most. I'm not the most sanitary person. Right. So all in all, I had a wonderful evening with my mom, my dad. Again, we had turkey pot pie. Definitely a very, very good mom food. If for whatever reason you run into my mom and she winds up making you something, definitely, that's something I'll do from now on. If I ever do a mom food chronicle from now on, I'll say the following. If for whatever reason you run into my mom, she happens to be making dinner, and she's making this particular mom food, you're in for a treat. And for this instance, you are definitely for that as well. Actually, again, I could say that about a lot of my mom's food. Again, the banana bread, of course. Her spaghetti and meatballs, which I've done a mom food chronicle on. Tacos and cornbread and other things. So, yeah. I know it's probably coming across as I'm a little biased because I am her son and I grew up on this food. And again, I'm calling it mom food like only your mom should make it. That's not true at all. Because I really do mean to tell you, like, even if there are things that are technically, first of all, even if there are things in this world that technically taste better than what your parents or any of your family members make for you, don't ever think like there isn't any merit behind what your family does. So, if nothing else, even over the years as I've, had arguments with my mom and only just recently have things been better, throughout all that, the taste and quality of the food she made never wavered. So, I don't know what to tell you about that. And again, it doesn't need to be made by your mom. It can be made by your dad, your sibling, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa. A place of love is where it should come from. And again, yes, there's probably going to be things that you eat that's better than anything your family can make. I mean, I can tell you right now, if my mom ever tried to make shrimp scampi, there's no way it'd be as good as Liv's. But even if she did make it, I know I'd be in for something good. And that's hopefully that's the vibe you always get whenever I make these Mom Food Chronicle videos. And that's that. I think I'll get on with my day. Like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button, follow me on social media platforms, share notifications on YouTube. I'm very humbled to make this video for all of you guys who watch and enjoy for today. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And remember, if you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend a hand and always be back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.